It's one time before, man. They were in the temple worshiping Dagon, worshiping the vagina, the fish head and shit, man. Like that Christian fish symbol. It really symbolizes a yanni, a vulva, the vagina, and all that. And you get them damn Hamites hemorrhoids, man.
Yeah, that's the Pope wears that fish hat.
Yeah, that fish hat, the hat of Dagon. They call it something else as well too, but they also call it the hat of Dagon. Ain't no but a symbolization of the woman's vagina, her yanni, man. And that's back into idolatry, idol worship.
That's how you know that whole Catholic shit isn't part of the Bible, because in the Bible it says to not keep your head covered. But when you go deep into the history of that hat, it goes back to paganism, and the Bible says keep away from paganism, man. Fuck
Yeah.
that whole Catholic shit, man.
Yeah, deal with that Roman Catholic BS, man. Guess what? They're some of the most biggest pedophiles. They're some of the world's most, hell, if they're not the world's most biggest pedophiles, they're the sexual rings with the Illuminati, all right? All these societies where they correspond with Christianity or Islam, whatever, man. They all deal with that. But the Roman Catholic Church, they'll have a goddamn priest, a so-called priest of God, right? And he'll be molesting little boys. Ain't like you should molest little girls, but they don't even molest little girls. They molest straight out little boys. And guess what happens to them? What always happens to them, man? A slap on the wrist. They always go ahead and transfer them to a different city, different state, become a priest in that different city, that different state. They transfer them, man. They don't go to jail, they don't do no jail time. Nobody put their ass to death like they should. All right, none of that shit, man. All right? But that just go to show how the brother's saying that Roman Catholic shit is a bunch of BS. You see what the Pope wearing a goddamn Fisher Dagon hat. Hell, every time you look at a picture of the Pope online, that Pope, the last Pope, he already got that damn evil look in his eyes. They already, already show that Pope, the picture of that Pope, especially in Illuminati videos. They show him with that evil look on his face. Even when you ain't looking up Illuminati videos, you look up Google images of that certain exact Pope, you see that evil look in his eyes, like an evil fucking pedophile. Eyes all got back underneath his eyes, looking around all evil and shit, looking for little boys and all that shit, man. That shit ain't funny, but it's just preposterous how ridiculous that bullshit is. That people don't see that shit in the Roman Catholic Church. And that's a lot of you Israelites, man. It's a lot of you goddamn so-called Haitians, you Levites. It's a lot of you Irish Benjamite niggas, man, to the Roman Catholic Church. That goes to a lot of you goddamn simple-ass spick and wetback tribe niggas, man. Y'all love the goddamn Pope. Early this year when I was out in Miami, because I had to go out there because of my infirmity that I had at that time to get in warmer weather, you had at this one Hispanic laundromat, it was a lot of Manassite Cubans over there on that side of town, so-called Cubans, the tribe of Manasseh, and they were playing the TV on inside that laundromat. And they had the Pope roaming around out there in Mexico and shit, man. That goddamn pedophile, faggot, scumbag piece of low-life shit, the so-called Pope. Because Pope really means father. He's not no father, man. He's not an actual Pope. They had the dope out there in Mexico walking around with parades of Christ following this ass, worshiping this ass, man. You got to look it up on YouTube. I think the videos on YouTube, they following this man around with their nose almost literally up his ass. Like, oh, the Pope, oh, the Pope. Like they fucking, like he was Yahweh Shai. Yeah. I think it was a Manassite or a Benjamite that was inside there. He even said like that, they act like he's Jesus Christ himself. What's wrong with the Mexicans, man? That's how simple you got them so-called Mexicans are. You tribe, but all you Latin tribes, but Issachar. I grew up with y'all in California, man. Y'all niggas are brain fucking dead, man. The 2/3 of y'all, that is. Are you got the birds out there that's so woke? They woke up. They're awake to this truth. Now they woke up to the fact they're Issacharites. They understand they don't have that same Issacharite mindset back in the world. So I'm not talking about brothers in the LA camp. Them brothers are good. Them brothers woke up. They understand that you got Issachar among Issachar, man. All right. They understand that Judah, not all Judah is their enemy. Like how a lot of these Issacharites in the world like to put in their mind that Judah is their enemy. Really, it's Esau is the worst goddamn enemy. Hell, the confusion of faith put up a more fight than Esau does in putting y'all Issacharites in subjection. We think all them damn Minuteman border cops saw that shooting y'all down. They're a bunch of racist goddamn fucking confusion of face niggas among Scottish and English that's sent out there. Makes them Levites, whether y'all brothers gonna believe it or not, that come from Texas and shit. They don't like you goddamn so-called Mexicans, you Issacharites, man. But that go show how simple you niggas are. All right? Fuck y'all, man. Those of y'all that are in the world, that is. This is Exodus the 9th chapter, verse 12. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had spoken unto Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord, power of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up, for to shew in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exaltest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go? Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail. This is spelled H-A-I-L, man. This is referring to those blocks of ice that I just talking about Texas. In Texas happens often. They have big blocks of ice, like the size as hell. This is like the size of a baseball, right?
Yeah, about the same size.
Probably like a little bit bigger than the baseball. They got big ass blocks of ice that crash land down and break through the windshields out there in Texas in the wintertime. It hails out there in California too sometimes, but not as much as it does in Texas though. Big chunks of ice. I remember one year it was someone that showed a big block of ice that crashed into his Ford F-150 windshield or whatever. He said, "Yeah, we had a bad hailstorm this year out here in Texas." Well, the Most High, he brought about this pestilence, this plague in Egypt, man. He brought out hail and he brought out something else, and he made them to occur simultaneously, man. All right, ambidextrously at this period of time when he cursed the Egyptians. Exodus 9, chapter 9, verse 18. Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, which have not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even unto now. Send therefore now and gather thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field, for upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field, that shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die. And that was even to Israelite cattle. That's why he said to get y'all cattle and get them up out of there. I'm about to jack the Egyptians' cattle up. I'm about to jack them Hamitic Mizraimites' cattle up, man. So it says, he that feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the house. Some of them did. And he that regarded not the word of the Lord left his servants and his cattle in the field. And you probably had Israelites as well too that left some of their cattle in the field, but they didn't go ahead and take heed. And it said, and the Lord said to Moses, stretch forth thy hand toward heaven, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt upon man and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward the heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation.
Fire and ice, damn.
Exactly.
That's a miracle, man.
When I read that, man, I'm like, God damn. He made ice and electricity, which is a form of fire. He made ice and electricity come down simultaneously, man. Like how you ambidextrous when you fighting, when you boxing, you could hit with the right hand, left hand. You could kick with the right foot, the left foot like it ain't shit. You hit good with both hands. You got certain fighters that are like that, man. Like Floyd Mayweather being one. I think Conor McGregor being another one. They're ambidextrous. You know, he's a southpaw. He hits very hard with that right hand, good enough to knock your ass out. Same thing with Floyd. He hit you with that left body shot, that left body hook. Your ass gonna drop, man. All right, back when you was younger, in this old age. Now he almost 40. Next year you'll be 40 if you do go on long in Babylon. But that's how the Most High got down with that hail, that ice, and that electricity, that fire. At the same time, like the brother said, a miracle, man. The Most High made something that was never seen before upon the earth at all. And I never heard any accounts like that in history. Both ice and electricity were coming at the same time. You had big blocks of ice just crushing goddamn cows, crushing the cows and shit, crushing goddamn herders, shepherds and all that, man. But you had the electricity just striking the gardens, striking the fields of the crops, all the vegetables, the fruit trees and all that. Just burn them up and explode the trees. Bloom, bloom, and all that, just all at once, man. The Most High is gonna do the same exact thing to America. He can do the same exact thing here to a Babylon, man. All those crops out there in Texas and shit, man. Back to Texas again. They got a lot of agricultural fields out there. West Texas and East Texas out there in the desert out there in West Texas. East Texas is where all the grass is at. But West Texas is basically where they have most of the desert before it goes into New Mexico and Arizona, and basically the desert in California and close to Nevada. That's all desert land out there. Cities in the desert. It's what Phoenix, Las Vegas, and even LA is. It's a city in the desert next to the ocean, next to the coast. All right? So the Lord's going to destroy all their crops out there, all those little wine gardens out there in Northern California. You got a lot of vineyards out there in Northern California. The Lord is going to destroy that as well too. Destroy your wine crops all throughout America, man. All the agricultural fields and all the little farms they got in the Midwest and Missouri and Wisconsin and Illinois and Michigan and all that shit, man. All throughout down south, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, Arkansas, they're going to be destroyed. The Lord's going to send them same plague curses to wipe out the cattle, and that's going to help further that famine, man. We get the famine of the word, which we're going to stop coming to these streets and teach. When the Lord decides, okay, I'm going to bring death to the people now. I'm done dealing with it. They didn't want to hear it, fuck it, I'm going to kill them. All right? And then we also got the famine of food. When the economy crashes, there's more food being imported from out international countries, out of the states, referring to the United States. All right? You got that famine, and you got the famine where the crops are going to be destroyed and the cattle are going to be destroyed, man, by the same plague right here. You go back in there. Set the Exodus 9 chapter. I just want to get that real quick. 15. Yeah.
Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it.
We just read some of the plagues, the boils, all right? You already know about the locusts and the frogs, and we just read about the one that's not spoken about often. It's that ice and electricity combo, man, the combination. So go ahead.
They that till the ground shall mourn,
Yep.
for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and
Yep.
with a fearful constellation.
That constellation, man. Will be that electricity zapping the crops as well too when that time comes. Go ahead.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Woe to them in the world that dwell therein. All you Israelites that are in the world, all you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, confusion of face Wheaties that look Caucasian, that are in this world, that are tied to this man. Y'all love this world, y'all love the way of this world. Y'all have no problem with homosexuality and lesbianism running rampant throughout America. You have no problem with your woman freaking off, you forgive her and all that. You got no problem turning your back on your husband and all that, man. You think everything is a goddamn joke? You think everything is goddamn Eric Cartman on South Park all the damn time? Like this fat ass smiling at first. You know, guess what? The Lord's gonna show you otherwise, man. He's gonna start jacking shit up. He's gonna put y'all to death in this place. He's gonna put y'all to death in the worst ways imaginable. If you real big and you like to eat a lot, the Lord's gonna starve you out. You might just die because of the famine. If you racist or whatever and you don't like Mexicans and you voted for Donald Trump, you might just get killed by a Mexican in that race war. You know, if you're a woman and you always dress provocatively and always, you know, led dudes on, being what they say, a cock tease or whatever and all that, you got dudes locked up, you basically did this that, and that to them, you put a dude on child support, but you want to dress like a slut, show off and flaunting your body and all that crap, guess what? In the end, you're going to get raped and put to death. You might be like that woman that was raped to death in the time of the war between Israel and Benjamin, man. How they raped that one woman and they raped her all night long. They gang raped her. And when she crawled back to the household where her husband was at in the morning time, that Levite, they opened the door. She was a concubine, so, you know, not technically husband and wife, but that was his possession. She crawled back to the door, she gave up the ghost and died right there. They said, damn, they raped her to death. That's how a lot of you wicked ass Israelite women and other nation women are going to get put to death in that time too. Y'all going to die in those great miraculous ways, like y'all just desserts, y'all just comeuppance. All right, like revenge, perfect revenge, man. Revenge is of the Lord. It's so sweet to get revenge when someone does you wrong, man. You know, I get tempted a lot by goddamn assholes, man. Down there every single day, man. People always, I mind my own business. People want to fuck with me and shit, man. Want to bother me. Why have you been inside here too long and blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker, come here all the time and break bread because I ain't bought nothing right now. Don't mean I'm just going to sit up inside here or whatever. Why are you even bothering me? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Am I doing to disrupt service inside here? Or you just don't like the fact that you see my sight inside here? You know, I got motherfuckers that bother me on such a level like that. So guess what? They're going to get their just comeuppance when that time comes, man. They're going to get the most perfect fucking revenge. And I've seen several times before the actual day of judgment, the Lord's visitation is going to come about, people get judged for fucking with me and other brothers, man. Y'all got our testimonies. Like when I first came out here, it was this weird, short, weedy man. I don't know, he like a fucking leprechaun or something, man. He had a weird look on his fucking face. You know, I would see him on the bus and I'll go down to this one McDonald's, 24-hour McDonald's I used to go to, and we'll be inside there, a couple other dudes at night and all that shit. At that time, we had nowhere exactly to go. So what happened was, one night I was sitting on my laptop watching videos, and he walked by hella close to my table just looking at me like with a grin on his face, like a weird, creepy, Chucky doll grin. Next time I saw him, about like 2 weeks later, he had on fucking crutches, man, on the bus. He looked on the bus when he sat on the front, he saw me, he looked away and shit, man. I'm like, there you go, you was being a fucking weirdo tonight. Most I got at your ass, you know? There was another dude when I was in Detroit, and I was in the shelter out there in Detroit, man. I was trying to edify this one brother, right? Because he wanted to hear the word, and he kind of heard the word before, and he was agreeing with the word, the truth, and all that. And he knew about conspiracy theories, he knew about martial law, and the end was going to come with concentration camps and all that here in America, as it is in the scripture. And I used to chop it up with the brother and break down Bible verses to him. It was this one retarded, bugged out, rotten, lemon-headed nigga inside there. He wasn't up there all the way, but he was jealous of me and all. He was jealous that I would read the scriptures. I remember one time I came inside there, I was reading my sword before I went to sleep. I was reading Corinthians. And he sat in a chair next to me. He grabbed a chair and sat next to me and had like one of those English standardized Bibles. And he was over the Bible, looking at me while reading the Bible like, oh, so weird, some bugged out shit, man. So anyway, I woke up in the morning, and I was edifying the one brother that worked at the shelter that I was cool with. And then he butted in when I was breaking down a scripture in Genesis. He started to say that the forbidden fruit was basically when he said some wicked, nasty shit, man. He said when Eve gave Adam the fruit, the forbidden fruit, he said what it was that they had like oral sex, and he kissed her lips, and some of it got on his lips, some shit like that, some wicked, evil, sick shit, man. You know what happened? I cussed him out. I said, you wicked, man. The Lord's gonna jack your ass up. Show enough. Next time when I saw him, that's about like a month later, he had on crutches and he had a cast on, man. He had a cast on his leg and a cast on his hand. And he had crutches. He had like a bandage around his head on the bus. And guess what? I'm not lying at all. I'm not lying. Because the brothers out there in Detroit could attest to it. The brothers in Great Millstone, Detroit, and the brother out there, the brother Inat, who's with the Good Samaritans. You know, he saw that as well too. He came to camp, like the last camp that I was before I left Detroit in 2012, he came up with his crutches and shit. I think he took the little cast on it off, but he still had that crutches though. And I said, look, we ain't gonna deal with this dude. And when I left, y'all brothers dealt with him anyway. Y'all realized the bugged out shit he was saying. Y'all realized what I said, like, man, don't deal with that dude, man. He bugged out. He ain't up there all the way. He's wicked, you know? Another dude, when I was out there in South Georgia, with the brother Johanna, died Esau 3. We were at this 25 McDonald's out there. We met with this one Ephraimite cat. We were breaking the scriptures to him. And this Jehovah nitwit, dumbass, simple Negro, he came inside there, man, and was leading the Ephraimite, the so-called Puerto Rican brother, astray. He came in there pushing that God loves everybody and blah, 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 blah. On that damn coon buffoon show, and that shuck and jive shit. And he had a little Jehovah Witness pamphlets and all that crap or whatever, where everybody all one joy to the road, all that little goofy-ass picture, the Babylonian picture, all different ethnicities together. So he was trying to combat what we're saying. He just butted in rudely and all that. And you know what happened? We ended up getting into a long debate. We were cutting him, and he had to flee and all that. You know, we got real loud in that McDonald's too. And the Ephraimite cat was like, damn, I'm surprised we didn't get kicked out. Y'all were going at it with his ass. Like, of course we had to. Ephesians 1:17, man. He set for the defense of the gospel. The debate that cost our neighbor, as it says in Proverbs. So next time we saw this simple ass man, We saw him in another McDonald's across town, another Tweet Fraud McDonald's. When he came inside there, guess what he had on? He had on the infamous crutches. He had the crutches. And when he saw us, he saw me and the brother Johanna sitting down in the corner on our laptops. He saw us and he hauled ass out that restaurant, man. The brother Johanna saw that, man. You know, so that's our testimony. You mess with the prophets of the Most High, you mess with the service. When we try to do the will of the Most High, we try to sincerely go ahead and teach our people and wake them up by teaching them this truth in the Holy Bible. The Most High going to get at your ass, man. He's going to get back at you. And let you know how wicked you were, how wrong you were for messing with his servants. Okay? You got more in 2nd Ezra 15th chapter?
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
The word woe means calamity, distress, time of trouble, and ultimately destruction. But it talks about the woes in Revelation. The first woe is come up, the second woe, and first woe have passed. The third woe coming quickly. That's talking about World War I, World War II, and World War III. All right, those three world wars. So the word woe could also mean destruction. That word woe is spelled W-O-E. All right, continue.
And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
That's right, guns in their hands. The modern day sword is the gun. And that's World War III. That's out there in the Middle East, in the Holy Land of Israel, that's occupied by the fake Jews, those Israeli scum rat bastards, and those towel head, diaper heads, all right, those Arabians, the huggy pepper heads that believe in Ali Akbar, all right? Hey, they're going to be going to war with each other. And guess what? Those fake Jewish imposters' number one ally is America and only America. So guess who's going to intervene in that war? The World Police America. So when they intervene in that war to outnumber in military might and force the Arabians that all live in that land, you got Jordania, you got Syria, you got Lebanon, you got Saudi Arabia. They're going to turn it back on America when that time comes. You got the Arabian Emirates, which is next door to Saudi Arabia. You got Yemen. You got I think I said Palestine, if I missed it. You got Iraq. You got Pakistan, Afghanistan. You got Iran. By like 11, 12, 13 Arabian populations out there. Hell, you might have India jumping in freight too, because they got a nuclear missile stockpile as well. All right. And they don't really care for America as well too as much, man. Guess what? The United Kingdom, Britain, basically set up, I think, a military personnel bank and a damn embassy out there. I mean, they were taken over by the British. So guess what? They don't like America as well either, man. When that time comes, they're gonna all go ahead and go to war with America, and America's gonna jump in while they're going to war with Israel. Then guess what? You're gonna have Russia that's gonna go ahead and take their sides. America's military might is too tough, too advanced for those Middle Eastern countries. One thing they got to really combat America is nuclear missiles. America they do got the good jets over there, the good fighter war jet, the bomber jets and all that. Okay, they got certain special missiles, electronic missiles that put out your electrical frequency in your areas and all that. I forget the name of them, whatever. It starts with an E or whatever. And some other type of weaponry. They got DARPA in America. They got DARPA. DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. They got all kind of weaponry that's ready for World War III and martial law. So guess who got to step in for those Arabian countries? Russia. Russia's going to step in. They're going to step in. They're going to take the side of the Arabians. Then North Korea's going to jump in. The more likely China's going to jump in. And America's going to be outnumbered, man. The European Union nations, Britain and all them, Greece, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Italy and all them, man, they're going to say, you know what? We ain't trying to go to war with Russia, man. Fuck that. We're just going to, like, it says in scripture, we're going to burn the whore. The beast, the horns are going to turn their back against the whore that's on the beast. They're going to burn her ass off the beast, man. All right? Her little ass going to get burnt on fire, butt ass naked. Go ahead. America is that whore, man. And America is going to be made naked. It already is being made naked right now. It's been exposed for its wickedness. All right? Not just these little racial tension with Mike Brown, blacks being killed unjustly in America. I'm talking about the wickedness of the witchcraft and pedophilia that goes on in this place. And then some with the stealing of money by the goddamn elites. Them getting bailouts on Wall Street, them elite bankers, man. All right, they got all kind of documentaries exposing that, like the documentary Inside Job, which is a good one. That's a real good documentary. Go ahead.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
There shall be sedition among men, which means rebellion. People, the average American citizen, civilian, is going to rebel against the government. From Pookie in the car right there to goddamn Steve, the Scottish nigga that has enough with the American government. When they mess up the economy and everything is all put in shambles, they have hyperinflation. They gonna say, fuck that, we gotta do what we gotta do to survive. So we gotta ransack through Walmart and take the shit, don't pay for it. Fuck it, the police standing at the door. We gonna all run in and say, fuck that shit. That's what's gonna happen over here, man.
Like that World War Z movie where,
where
the cop was in there and like he was stealing stuff and then he looked at the cop and he kind of stopped for a second. Then the cop started stealing stuff too.
Yeah, that's gonna happen, man. Come on, that's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be sedition among men. They're gonna rebel against the government, man. All right, that's what that means. They're not gonna have any care for what the authorities have to say. Hell, the authorities not gonna have no damn care when that time comes. They don't want to even have a police officer badge on when that time comes. They're gonna be mainly concerned about defending their family and protecting their families, man. These cops in America. All right.
It's like the purge, man.
Yeah. Hey, it's like the purge, man. All right. Hell, you got they're not gonna list the government officials when Trump or Obama, if he still maintains to be in presidential seat, because they declared World War III within before Trump so-called get into office. Then Obama could be sent upon a third semester in the office and all that because of the declaration for World War III. You know, and if his ass pop on the screen, or Trump ass pop on the screen, they says, we know we're having hyperinflation and blah blah blah. You people calm down. They're not going to regard that shit, man. It says in the scriptures. They're not going to give a fuck. They're going to go out and ransack and do what they got to do. Go ahead.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Read that again.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
It said that actually they're going to stand in their own powers. They're not going to regard the kings and princes, the government politicians, the chief of police, or none of that. All right? And it's going to be all out hell and chaos going down. And to restore order, they're going to have to put up garrisons to block you from leaving one city to another. Like when you had the dude shut out there in Baton Rouge, out in Sterling, and all Judah and America went wild down there. We had these niggas in Memphis hop on the bridge over there, blocking up traffic from Arkansas to Tennessee. Okay? The government's gonna set up borders just like that. You're not gonna be able to go from Arkansas to Tennessee, or whatever city and state that you're in. You won't be able to go from one town to another, one state to another. You're gonna have basically armed military personnel looking type men, some mercenaries, some part of the military, some part of international like Russian military and Chinese military and Israeli military over here in America. They're gonna have their guns and say, look, go the other way. You don't leave in 25 seconds, you're gonna light your ass up like New Year's fucking Eve.
Like that Batman movie, the one with Bane. I forgot what that one was called, but it's a Batman movie with Bane, and he basically started up Arkham.
Dark Knight, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like the Dark Knight Rises or something.
Yeah.
And he started Arkham City, and like the military lined up around the bridges around it and blew it up because people were trying to get off.
Yep.
So they couldn't go in or out.
That's what they're gonna do.
They're stuck in that city.
Like you got the Skywalk Tower over there, from that building right there to that building, this building right here to that building. And that's how these bridges are in these major cities like New York, New Jersey. You got bridges. In San Francisco, you have a bridge. Was it like that? That's good.
Yeah.
San Francisco, you got the well-known famous San Francisco Golden State Bridge or whatever. They're gonna blow that shit down. They might have garrisons put on there, or they're just gonna blow it down. San Francisco, they're probably just gonna blow that shit down because it's cold out there all year long in San Francisco. In the daytime, it's warm like this, but at nighttime, I don't give a fuck. In the summertime, it gets below 50 degrees out there. They're probably just gonna go ahead and blow it up. Just say fuck it. We'll just ride boats on the other side. We gotta get to the other side. We ride boats to the bay, basically through the lagoon.
Yeah,
You know?
I think in the Planets of the Apes movie, that took place in San Francisco, and I think that bridge was the bridge destroyed in that movie?
No, the apes, they were running across the bridge. And the apes,
Oh,
and the apes comically but spiritually symbolize Israel, man. They're making fun of Judah and the other tribes, but it symbolized Israel though.
Hey, they even explained the confusion of face in that movie.
Yeah.
You know, because one of the apes was like trying to kill the humans. I was trying to help the apes, and they killed the 2/3 monkey and then helped the human because the human was for the apes.
Yeah.
Trying to get along.
You had some good humans, you had the bad humans. Like the bad humans were Esau and the good humans were the confusion of faces. Like the Sicilian, Italian, Irish, Scottish jakes. You know, similar to that. That was the second one. Cause you had that, I ain't gonna lie, you had the one you had the rise of the apes, you had the one that when they were already established out there in the woods in San Francisco or whatever. You had that one, I think his name was Simeon or something like that or whatever. He was with the business. He was on a good note, like let's not fuck with them. But on a more spiritual note, guess what? That is symbolizing because you got the confusion of face, like they had the good humans. You can't just go ahead and shut the door to the elect, man. All right, so that was symbolic right there. But that movie there running across the bridge though, and the government had helicopters shooting at the apes, and you had the gorilla that sacrificed himself, like it says in the New Testament in St. John. How great it is for a man to lay his life down for his friends. You lay your life down for another brother, put yourself down for another brother. They were shooting at the apes, shoot someone with a machine gun on the helicopter, and he jumped on the helicopter and brought the helicopter down. He sacrificed his life to save all the other apes from being gunned down on that bridge. You know? That was scriptural right there. Hell, when the main ape, when he cracked that vial and it spread it through all the cakes for the apes, that was like a word that came into it. They became so-called civilized. They grew logical and reason and comprehension and all. They were no longer totally animalistic. They grew smart.
Because they call the people without the law beasts.
Yeah, and